confirmed INEC and experts in this field, Barrister Curtis Nuruddin Adigbero, Mr.
Business.
Right. Of course, you can join the conversation on our social media plan right on YouTube. Barrier. You can always join the conversation anywhere you are. Right, just go on either Play Store or Apple Store, download the Radio Garden app, and then you search for Miller 98.3 FM and you get to listen to us right there. And also you can listen via our website. Yes, also very much accessible. Analyzing 3 topical political issues. Right, first is the promises and what we should be expecting from the newly confirmed chairman of the umpire. Okay, I have with me follow about the expectation from the newly confirmed chairman of the umpire responsible, and he had mentioned that and can he really keep to his promises? Well, we'll be looking at options have been made, big weeks of the opposition party and even from the strongholds of the PDP, and of course we that the influx of the defecting declined. But if many big wigs had also mentioned to lose to still the National Secretary of the Labour Party that the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress. And I ensure Akinyosoye once again. I have with me Barrister Curtis. And happy Sunday.
Good evening, Lagos. Good evening, Nigeria. And I nearly enter here late.
Nearly. Is you welcome? You're welcome once again. Well, let's kickstart the conversation. Channel of the outgone, or let's say ex-INEC chairman, the Nigerian academic Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who was appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 21st of then nominated Professor Joash Amupitan in a letter forwarded to this as amended. And then Professor Amupitan, a senior advocate of Nigeria and professor of law who has held several academic and administrative positions, unanimous voice vote without any dissenting electoral reforms, the neutrality and even the integrity of Nigeria's voting process. Every reason to go and adding that credible elections will definitely remain the bedrock of democracy. How true is this? We'll start with Barrister Curtis. Really, Professor Joash Amupitan, you also spoke about, you were optimistic about he is over 35 years now and all of that. But maybe I should, because I want us to go beyond the expectation. I mean, what you should electorate be expecting, right? And so that we can hatch off every point that he made, I'll play a soundbite from the screening, and also we'll come back. I'll start with Barrister Still, Political Roundtable on Miller 98.3 FM.
Was subsumed as a glitch. Before we went into the election, my own, that there was no clarity as to an electronic collation system, and that's position was not properly brought out before the election. The INEC was supposed to be a safeguard for comparison, because the laws made by this distinguished Senate did not do away with manual collation. But owing to the issues of glitches, which in simple time I understand as improper configuration, especially His Excellency the Senate President said, I have to audit the system if I'm given the opportunity to see what, because it is not just the INEC responsibility alone. You have the other agencies like NCC, NIMC, and the service providers that will have to work together to ensure that we give Nigerian a technology that everybody will be happy. Logistic of the election itself, and ensure that the proper strategy is put in place. Well, those problems headlong. I think that is a major concern. That is the question of Senator Osita. It's a major concern of everybody, because one of the things that we have to do is to work out an internal mechanism that we can use to trail the behavior of humans. So I appreciate the fact that they are there on trust, and because you have made the law that should be done. So one of the ways is to set up an ethical committee so that you can report it and nothing were done. Maybe we are also going to work with the National Assembly because there will be need for some legislative intervention in some cases. For instance, there is a need for an electoral offenses commission that will be able to investigate. INEC does not need the internal disciplinary procedure brought to book, even if you need to use people to
our time so that we get into the conversation. We might not want to discuss because a lot of questions have been raised about. Let's talk about the areas, the key point areas that he had mentioned. He talked about from all these people. He talked about funding as well. He talked about whistleblower. Barrister, what are your thoughts about all of this? You know, you have expressed your optimism really about the new INEC Chair.
So again, like I said last week, but I will also say something, and that they are outnumbered by bad people.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
You know, a child could be out of enthusiasm. Say to the parents, when I grow up, Daddy, I will buy you a Rolls Royce. I will buy you an aircraft. You know, but you know that whatever they are capable of becoming in life, again, depends on the foundation, the solid foundation that the parents will give to them. How the opportunities that life brings to them, the people they meet along the way has made in this light. Yes, he means well. He has good plans. Factors don't entirely depend on him.
Right.
You heard him talk about the fact that even within the INEC as a body, he's got to do a lot of studying. That within INEC itself there are landmines. Majority of the nominees are closet political party members.
Yeah.
Resident commissioner, who happens to be the cousin of the FCT minister.
Right.
I mean, that was even open. He was a carry member of the PDP at some point. Okay? And when that was brought out, his cousin said, what is shown in an impartial manner? And I want to believe that. Look, I'll tell you something. In other parts of the world, let me give you an example of the United States, for instance. Even in the United Kingdom, most of the people who conduct, the person in charge of elections is the Secretary of State. The equivalent of that is the Secretary to the state government in Nigeria. He could be a Democrat. Intra-electoral body in the US does not conduct election. They just monitor the activities of the parties, the funds you collect, how you spend it. So when you hear that this rep member monitoring, because every quarter you have to submit the money you took from the people and how you have spent it so far. That's basically what they do. But conducting elections, party members, Democrats, Republicans, or independent, but they still 20. President Trump lost in Georgia. The governor is a Republican. But when Trump called on them to find 11,720 votes,
House.
they had vertebrae. They are strong. They have strong spines. They have moral integrity.
Right, but Barrister, this is about the fact that even this outgone
that's where I was going.
chairman, that he was also termed is a decent man.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying, and that's why I said we have good people, decent man. He has integrity, but does he have the inner strength to withstand the ferocious
pressure?
People, is it about the case of being outnumbered?
Let me explain.
Okay.
Let's say you are engaged by this radio station now to be the general manager. Professionalize this outfit and allow talents to come in,
grow, to thrive.
What happens if the owners
you can do,
this is what we want you to do, and that's why people are concerned about who appoints the INEC chairman.
Right.
That's why people are also concerned about bulwark against such attempt by a president who is overreaching. Is the National Assembly in our constitution. Now, the tenure of the INEC chairman is secured. So we even have now.
Your mandates will stand.
They might even decide not to even count the vote.
Right.
These problems are systematic. You hardly can find people who will rise to the occasion to challenge the system. And the country ever witness, if it wasn't for the glitches, and up to today, nobody has been able to explain in plain terms until our reporters and the cable starts coming out with that this wasn't a glitch. This was an attempt to suppress before INEC came out and invented the term glitch. People who knew Professor Mahmoud, he stood up to the military for some time, but he didn't get enough support. Very boisterous to have, but the reality is on ground waiting for him. Waiting for him in the sense that if you have those in the system and receive results,
and the Rex will oversee whatever happens in the states.
Now there are also those who will pull the strings, and if you listen to him, he talked about the fact that the budget of INEC is on first line, but that if those who appointed you are the same people who control when you get money or you don't get money, then they can also whip you into line. And that's where the problem is.
Okay. Nuruddin, to get your reaction to this as well, even said that you should not even worry about all of that. That you should just go ahead, to focus on the next election. With your reaction?
CV and those people that have a personal relationship with him, I've talked a lot. In fact, I spoke to like close to 4 or 5 people from University of Jos. And you know what they stand for? Upon the years they've used in as student union leader, they are using academics. Those people we have worked with the students, work with lecturers. We are talking about. So now he's going to deal with a lot of people.
Right.
He's going to deal with politics, any effort that he wants to do. But he's going to be working with different kind of people as we speak. But one thing there is this: resident electoral commissioners. That, in fact, they are more political more than the politicians. But the fact that you are a resident electoral commissioner, then you want to return the results. You don't have the result with you. It's a sheet of paper with no. So you should be able to know for that kind of effrontery. It shows that the kind of friends that are resident commissioners I speak, and I know how they emerged. Some of them, any state that is pushing you forward, you will be very near to position in that particular state. It's a fact. So you should be able to know that it's going to be favorable. Even if it's going to be favorable naturally, people will still think in that particular line. I think he needs to look at all those resident electoral commissions. He may not be able to, but he can't change them. But he can move them across the state. He can move them. By the time you know, for instance, now all this one-off election, that you know this particular person is from Southwest, and they are going to do
election like this. Sometimes the INEC chairman will move about 6 or 7 national commissioners. The resident commissioner who is going to
level that people are going to see.
Right.
There are some certain people, they are not resident electoral commission now. They are collecting it direct
from politicians.
In fact, I know of one particular election, and I shouted it before 2023 election. Just imagine, in a particular polling unit, a member of a political party, to the extent that what they do is that they can allow one particular person to vote 2 or 3 times.
Have you seen the letter that was a response to a request from a law firm to INEC, wanting to from the law firm to be able to provide that kind of information?
Yes.
They said they are going to print. They are going to look. I have been part of one particular independent investigator to investigate an election in Lagos State. It's a House of Rep election. By the time we get to where we are going to see word by word of 3 local government that form an House of Rep, do you know that that Amupitan needs to work on seriously?
That's part of his
the years that he has used in service. With one day politician will spoil it. It's technology. Look, we cannot continue the way we are doing now. We want to get the good results. Even if you bring
some will say that because we are not ripe for it.
Which kind ripe? If you cannot do this, they are calculating. By the time the returning officer is going to see one party, and this is I have a table for it. I calculated it, and part of the question I had in that particular election is that these numbers are not tallied. The returning officer said they should go and rework it, and Zell even works. Right. He will not make mistake with a very good application. So that is one of what Amupitan is going to make sure he works on men. Those people that is going to work with them. The issue of ad hoc is another edict that he needs to work on. Another thing again is going to work on equipment. It is very, very important.
Himself.
I know.
He's still going to be given ad hoc staff by governors and political office holders. Now, when you talk about the system, don't forget, like I said, nobody has told us what happened in 2023. It wasn't because the system was not good. Because that system also transmitted elections from Senate and House of Reps.
And we saw it.
And we saw it.
Yes.
It was only that of the presidential elections. They had problem. And this reminds me of what happened in Kenya some years ago, where the elections was going on and then the guy was killed. And the Constitutional Court of Kenya nullified that election and ordered for a fresh election. Now, in our own case, they couldn't do that because the INEC chairman simply to inherit the same system. And the point I'm making here is that will he be able to muzzle the strength within the bandwidth of that organization to carry out the kind of reforms that we
on that reform as well, especially for the proposal of the National Assembly on the electoral reform. But let me quickly get Fᴏʟʟᴏᴡ on this, Joseph. Yes, giving past electoral irregularities and public distrust. How can even civil society?
Well, he may not be able to do it until when we have another country, when a system is going and there is anywhere what they call glitches and the system, the country, some people that are mess up until the more they get promotion. You understand? Until he will not be able to do anything. Now, help the situation, because even himself,
and push the blame.
Even himself is like want him to succeed in a normal situation whereby we do things in a proper, like the adabrakadabra, and make them to be qualified to be part of those elections, and they will ask you to go to court, and then end up becoming a Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Equally, if you go back during President Buhari, democracy was stolen, and at the end of the day, people that was someone that was finger end up must be rewarded. So first, we find a way to stop. When even merely fingering, you are eligible to maybe get one political office or the other. He mentioned issue of maybe a special court. The special court is being partial. If issue of any political post, whether the governor who is always accelerated hearing in court, it's only those who sabotage the system. The question is those senator, those governor that the court is like the case can be good different position and discharge their duty. One of those who were, I think by Nuruddin to do a complaint. INEC will tell you say, we don't have power to prosecute them. So he just said that for me there's a special court already, but the special court is
African countries that the institutions of government fold easily to those. But what is happening now? Why the police are busy warning the Sᴏᴜ group that are ready to protect attention have been provided security by the same police. But one
different law for everybody's money.
They are hopeful that something could happen in the positive direction pointed him. It was in this same country that someone won an election that was discredited. He was sworn in and he said, the election that brought me to power of the
Supreme Court.
And when they court for technical reasons, or what those who alleged criminality in the process could not prove it beyond reasonable.
Just beyond being hopeful, like many school of thought will say that the responsibility lies on every.
The sources of Professor Joash Amupitan as INEC chairman depends.
And security agency.
Not the voters.
No.
Because the voters, those people that want to vote will come and vote, right?
Right.
But the politicians, and when we say politicians, the major ones, each state, the number of thugs in every state belongs to the ruling party in that state. Party that is controlling that state will take the major share of it. That's why the politicians are the one we are going to beg. There is nothing. Their godfathers, their godmothers, as politicians, do the right thing. I'm telling you, they are going to do the right thing, and that's the reason.
You know when I said the president and governors, I did not make a difference between the
Okay.
But in addition to what Barrister Kotti have said too, for example, you will see during the election there was one of these to a particular thing. Later, they later now saw that even the people that came to disturb that election, chairman is a fantastic person, but his environment,
People
if it is toxic,
The ballot that I will not know, even though that some particular polling unit that are covering around their homes, and those ones that are at the polling unit, you people should be alert. You see, this I was gathering my information, I was giving them as a journalist. Immediately I will leave and put it in my same set of hold gun that did not hold anything, and the polling unit
are there as props. Is armed with AK-47. There is no danger. Individuals who take it upon themselves to say you will not vote if you are not voting for this person. So you are just
to the second story because of our time. I mentioned that we will just amend sections 285 and 139 of the 1999 Constitution and appellate court decisions from 90 to 60 days, and ensuring that the entire judicial process, does not expand or exceed 185 days. And other key proposals include early voting for certain categories of Nigerians, like the security personnel, INEC staff, accredited journalists. And also seeks to make the electronic transmission of results mandatory with penalties for non-compliance. And if passed, the proposal will mandate INEC to conduct
presidential. If he doesn't do it, we'll punish him.
This because people have been talking about, especially the 2007 Justice Owei's report, also that
they were statutorily barred. They were statutorily that they were under compulsion to transmit the results. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood, said, why would we spend billions if we are not going to transmit the results
electronically?
So that's why I'm saying it's not for lack of good intentions, and it's not for lack of the temper with the system. So now here's the challenge. It's not just about the law.
Right.
Yes, the laws are there to guide, but any right you cannot claim from the law is useless. It must be dispensed with within 185 days.
Before the swearing.
Where are they going to find the justices and the judges now? Because even under the current system that we have, the judges and the justices are overworked.
Yes,
contesting this election. There is an interim judgment, or seem to go back again. Then it continues with the main case now. Or with it. So you find that the courts are clogged. They can't deal with parties. We file a petition against the winner, and the courts have to dispense with them one after the other. These things are all good ideas, like in the United States where people can vote early. In most of in the state of Oregon, nobody goes out to cast a vote. Everybody sends their vote by me. No, I'm telling you the truth.
There is a part.
When you say a system that will learn to walk before running, do you understand? Let's even perfect the states where they have early votes. First of all, the integrity of that system is very high. It has to be preserved. And those who don't do, who may enter the race to be president.
Yes.
And then it became very difficult for INEC to even keep
areas in the banks.
In the
central bank.
Yes.
So look, the support and cooperation of the do or die politicians in this country. They are actually the problem. It is those who benefit from the system.
He has sponsors.
And so if this level of sanity, like Joseph said, this is a country that rewards absurdity. Somebody stood in front of a plane wanting to stop a pie.
Ambassador.
Now, let me bring it home. And I'm the general outcome for everybody. You have Nigerian banks, corporations, and corporate entities with students in mathematics
and English language.
Those of corporations. So that's the kind of system that we have.
I think again this is the top of the tree. What are they doing about party discipline? for me, Nigeria did not have a political party, but our political party must be like one, transparent, disciplined, and seriously taken care of. Because, for example, you see, if there's some primary that there's some party that after their primary election have finished, the outcome of the primary is still in court. I simply look at it that let them make it as a law that when you disturb any electoral process, should be treated like a person that commit treason.
Fᴜʟʟᴏᴡ, you think somebody that know is a sitting assembly? Look, the one that is in the constitution that if you are a legislator, you cannot cross carpet. Only if your party is divided, that is not as senators and house of rep, house of assembly moving. What happened? Look, what our national assembly is supposed to do for us in these amendments is not even the one it. What we need, number one, is this. Shebi, the last one they said IRF is not in the law. Put it inside the law now, number one, or they are not going to count it. Or where are they going to keep it? Is it, are they going to keep it in each maybe local government where the vote is casted? Or are they going to talking about if they do it in Nigeria, where they are keeping the vote, some people will throw fire inside it. Shebi is when you see that you are going to count it. That one, they should put it aside. But if they want to do it, there are some questions that will come. Where are we going to keep those votes? Are they not going to be opened? Are they not going to be people like police officers, like journalists that will cover? Okay, automatically Nigerians that are abroad also through that can also vote. So they should, and they should wait for the INEC to look inward within 6 months. Let's see what Amupitan will do. Bring up the area that he wants legislation on, so that they can put it in the amendment. They should not be thinking for us, because that shows that whatever they want to do, they will put their own interest, what is going to favor them. Look, first. Another one again is that if you participate in one primary, you now walk around, they now become senator. We don't want to have it. If you want to contest for one primary, if you lose, just go and sit down, wait for another 4 years. We need to disband law paper. That person is not only committed treasonable offenses, we should be able to, that person is the enemy of the state and must be treated as us. Shoot aside. Maybe we'll see maybe voters see that this candidate, if it becomes candidates, our hospital will not work. That position automatically has killed a lot of people indirectly. So these are, they will give you gun, shoot them, throw tigers on them, and they are fighting them. What they are going to achieve is what is going to benefit. When they are protesting because the officer, the way you call her bloody, will come and meet our bloody.
All right, thank you very much. We are looking at several issues. I mean, 3 major issues this evening rather. I'm used to trends and defections, and what we are seeing today, where politicians just cross carpets and political balance, driven, some would say federal alignment, and some would say the movement of these people, politicians, especially the bigwigs, of its weakest footing even since 1999. Recent moves by governors, senators, lawmakers from Enugu, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Kaduna. We have state APC. In 2023, shortly after the general elections, the political map was still made notable inroads, especially in urban centers and among voters. And 2 years later, the figures tell a different story. Still the 5 of 109 seats, leaving PDP with about 26, while smaller parties, they share the remainder. And the House of Figures, including that of 3 PDP lawmakers from Kaduna. We have even Governor Peter Ombah Party and the need to align with the renewed hope agenda of the federal administration. We'll talk about even the excuse now, so to say. Like Barrister Curtis mentioned, you also mentioned last week that they would do the National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka of the APC. He had raised concern, or he had mentioned in an interview saying that the defections of politicians from opposition parties into the APC are legit. There are lots of calls or accusations of, at some point I saw a report of that the fact that APC is threatening the opposition to come to the APC and all of that and blah blah blah. Because of our time, I can't play the soundbite here of Morka saying that, well, he's stressing that the decisions of members of the PDP, Labour Party, and even ADC joining the APC are in line with democracy. And what's your take? Let me start from Barrister Curtis. We've talked about we still have more being registered or sent their.
There was a joke in which antelopes were running, and the elephant joined them in running. Looked at they were pursuing, and the elephant said, "You know what? I don't have to rate phenomena." And he said, "Look, there are people election if they don't belong to the ruling party, because where the results, there's a popular saying that those who vote do nothing, those who do the counting do everything. Supervision of the security agents." So what happened? And then you have state with the center, and you find that these same people were at one point or the other aligned with the party at the center, and it didn't improve anything that they did. Do you understand? There is no duty upon them to even tell us anything at all, because under the branch, it can even say, or the State House of Assembly, that you got to prove that faction and cannot sponsor you for election, so you are dumping that party. That's what the court said in Abegunde's case. Now, select politics without morality. Just because some people look at what was the governor like, Governor Seriake, former Governor Seriake, this thing, like he said, he has enough muscle at home to go to the Senate.
Yeah.
But you know what? She also said some of them are looking for protection from the ruling party, protection from the government in power, so that they don't have to face the EFCC when they leave. Now, I think about 4-5 months ago, I posted something immediately.
Yes.
I don't know whether the APC National Assembly, very useful conversation. For instance, the manifesto word, now I have done
this.
Yeah. Then you power any party in power. Not even about party ideology.
60 years.
But they lost the election.
And the APC.
So that they will not waste their resources.
Let's have peace.
So,
let's talk to this statement of aligning with the central, especially with sinking ship, right?
To a progressive.
A progressive. Now, they're saying that, the current administration, the current president.
Babangida.
So that one is not.
Your party does not belong to the party in the center.
Just a pure lie. Any governor, any senator, especially the governors, I say, I want to align with the center. It's a lie. Tell us anything. I have to run in the constitution side in the morning. I want to change my party. In the evening, you can go to another party. It's allowed. Delta State, the governor have moved from PDP to APC. Okay. Now in APC, what has in fact
governance? Do
you know that also in the ruling party that are even doing better? That money that is due for that state will be given. Either you get the privation money, they will get it even if you are not. They don't have morals. We have politicians that the way they tell you again is that no, we want to talk about Zik. We are the family of Zik in power. Tomorrow that they are afraid, what is this?
Earlier alluded to consequences of defections because and you were elected. Political parties are vehicles. They voted for you under that same political party. Let's talk about the consequences, even when you are doing the wrong. Right? Isn't that the right time to party vehicle? You end. You must finish your tenure, or you lose it if you defect before the end of your tenure.
I think for me, there is a lot of partiality that we follow those rules and regulations. With the way people are defecting, Unilag, Political science course here, after all, is if we have a system, those that are supposed to manage to be vanguard for discipline,
right,
vanguard for progress, vanguard for serious trouble. Now, the movement from one party in Nigeria, 2022 election was a protest vote, a vote against PDP and those state. Do you know that it's just like protest vote? Normal that this result, this announcement is correct.
House of Reps.
You understand? So if the citizen give no discipline, then it's going to be very, very tough. Because for me, just like what Barrister Curtis said, this thing, Nigeria have one, a complete political, it has political discipline. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Lagos, now to Abuja. How many of these governors that are decamping that will sometimes there are some, if I'm allowed to put it, there are some of it What I need to do is to respect the president. Even though the schools say they are afraid of or to collect any ensure that the federally ensure that they have that. And that's why I see many states have a lot of loan that they've collected.
With whatever submission you want to give us, Barrister Curtis, about the implications for governance as well. With large numbers in without prolonged protest or contest or whatever, and coordinated oversight. What do you think of this? And also,
where is the parliamentary oversight in at the reality? Now, you talked about how awful the provision of the Constitution. It complicates things further by saying there has to be a decision or lay down the claim. What happens? Is it the political party, of course, will come out and say we are going to court to reclaim our position. They go to the court and the leadership, the speaker, or the president of the Senate or the speaker can declare the seat of such a person vacant. Now, what happens wasn't before the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court dealt with it a little bit in the PDP and Amechi. And since the PDP should be sworn in as the governor.
Yes.
But someone in Nigeria, unless you are sponsored, he owns the vote. For instance, now, if the PDP, when you got as done of assembly and code defected from the PDP to the APC, what happened? The speaker could declare their seat vacant. So we have to be smart about it by saying, okay, let the political party be the owner.
Yes, they are the one that will sign for you.
I think with clubs go to the market to hire new players, and some just buy players.
Still political roundtable on Mainland 98.3 FM. Pardon me, we open the phone lines now. Definitely major issues we are discussing this evening. I have Barrister Curtis Adigba with me. I have Nuruddin Adegbenro, and of course I have Joseph, visited to the National Secretary of the Labour Party, Umar Farouk Ibrahim, who had said that President Bola Tinubu is likely to secure re-election in 2027, and so is predicting that Labour parties, opposition parties they've become too demoralized to even challenge the present ruling party that we have in, of course, yes. And we said when you look at those people contesting with Tinubu, quoting him now, in any match you see the ops who will miss the penalty. What's the
whether it is Lamida don't want the Labour Party to have a presidential candidate, the ruling party, of course, is the one funding them through some means to destroy their own party. No, so this is an old tactics. There's nothing new. Continue until 2027, and it might not be a viable platform. But I think the mistake that they are making is that Labour Party was not the reason why Nigerians voted for Peter Obi.
Peter Obi, see another party that he can
those who support Peter Obi will follow him
wherever he goes. No difference between, and at the same time. So and that is at least they walk up 3 consecutive times. All of them are price. One thing they are so certain there is that everybody knows how Labour Party becomes popular. Don't think Peter Obi in his own is better. I know he has other options that he is this. Nigerian needs to be selfish. Politicians are selfish. So ordinarily the ruling party in the country or in your state or in your local government, how has the 6 years of Ankara is still going to be the same old story? But I can tell you, politics, we are going to see a lot of things is going to be taking shapes, and we are going to have politicians that is highly political. All of us know that. That is why you see that he play politics more than governance.
Right. Quickly.
I think for me, the Obi, do you know what it takes for you to have more than 5 million votes? And when the issue between Labour about the issue there, they should be able to enter and see how they can manage it. But there was serious gap every day on. As I'm talking today, I don't know if there's any primary that Obi will be. They will allow Obi to even get register. Not to talk of saying you want to be part of those primary. And if you want to give a shot 2027, people will say no when the time come. We will see what what will happen. So for me, I think it is time for Nigeria, just like what Nuruddin said. It is time for you can do protest votes, just like what happened in 2020 ADC. Let's look for one party to talk of lecture, and that's why some of these things we continue.
We'll definitely want you to engage in the conversation as well. We'll open the phone lines now to also share your take and give your analysis to the several issues. We've talked about the statement credited to the new INEC as under his watch. towards the Felix Morka, saying that APC not pressurizing, opposition governors to defect. They are just exercising their constitutional right to defect from wherever party to the APC, and even APC is ready to welcome the.
That's fine.
Like Mr. Cousins has said, all the remaining opposition governors, they are good to go.
They also
going to the secure victory and text messages 0913-600-0410 on YouTube, so you can still drop. I can see comments already on our Facebook and YouTube, so you can also drop your comments on Facebook and YouTube. Just use the comment section. And what's your name?
I agree by Mr. Cousins and the rest in the studio.
Thank you.
This Mr. Peter from Mr. Defection or not defection. The whole thing is left for Nigeria. It's not a matter of not the whole thing stand and what they want in this life. That is 2027. They told them a lesson. Like look at Tinubu state. That's a Pitamba. No government will try such a thing again. So the whole thing is life in the hand.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening.
Yes?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, okay. So, like my brother Morka said, this election can already take a decision that we are not going to vote for APC, and we have already started our campaign within us and around our environment and our communities. Nigerian people, all of us Nigerians, people like us, the average Nigerians, we should always have is they have abandoned governance. If they are focusing on social, so now they have moved to the other side. They live.
Hello, good evening.
And everyone in the studio agreed. Do you remember in 2015 what happened in Nasarawa State? Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is my state. How former governor Al-Makura became a governor in Nasarawa State. Do you remember? This PDP were taking other opposition for a right in Nasarawa State. That is how Al-Makura he was the only governor that I think we Nigeria. Why did they amend it? What stopped them not to amend it for a time? Just accomplish it. 7. It's we Nigeria that will decide, and if we like, I will decide who to vote for. Thank you.
Of course, you have that choice to do so. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you.
I greet you all of you. My name is Prince Wise. Calling the INEC chairman must be neutral, but therefore the INEC chairman. And the local government chairman, it is a blessing for Mr. President. And not to me, 2015, you know how many government that moved from one party state, I disagree.
This equation, Seth.
Yeah, he did expect it so.
Yeah, my name is Godson from WG.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Of your show, I've been listening to the show, though I don't call all the time, but I'm a lover of your show. One that you're supposed to take. Because I at least for the while that I've been listening to the show, you do pick an issue of the protest that's happening tomorrow.
Okay.
No.
I have so that's just the only thing I said. That's the only thing I felt that I'm not happy.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Malam Salah.
Thank you.
Barrister, please, how many years that professor retired from university now? How many years? Is this 70 years or 65?
Well,
it has been moved already. This INEC chairman is almost 70, okay?
No.
He has to be more. No, it's my age appointment. And I'm very sure 1 year of the child editing, the man has the career, integrity, quite all right, and somebody. And that mandate can be protected by every means. And he may be even worse than what he's saying. Time,
right.
It's different politician completely. And I'm sorry for our Peter Obi and sympathize with the not being ballot.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's my one in Imo. I think that when the INEC does whatever they can go, he can go to any state and put fire. They will just tell you that we saw what happened in Bayelsa also, where the APC government is not ready to follow the rule of law. This is it. And the third arm is the EFCC. They are not ready to. You heard the Delta governor. He said he wants to belong. The same thing with Cross River. these people, they know what they are doing. Collect money and say, go to your state and vote. Today now, we are all going to the same market. We are also all buying the same product. So,
good evening, all in the studio. In the forecast by the Secretary of Labour Party that
hello?
It's right.
Okay.
Because that party may be like AD as people are speculating, or become the vice president to article under ADC. The use of drones will make election to be very okay. Maybe you have to explain more to us. Are we talking about insecurity in the north or something like that? The military is using drones. So you should tell us more about the usage of drones. Then finally, in the constitution, that when you defect, either as a
oh my. All right, see me. Says, good evening, political roundtable journalist. Okay, just greeting. Thank you very much. Good evening to you too. Good evening, great men. Forward to you, honorable members of the Radio Parliament. Ogbeni Alaba Alakwe from Sabo says, congratulations to the newly INEC chairman. I wish him well. I was fall in love with the man, although some are still wanting him to fail because he was appointed by President Bola Tinubu. But I strongly believe this man called Joash Amupitan will supersede all his previous predecessors in him. Independent candidates should be imputed in our electoral system.
It's not him.
This will help us a lot. Congratulations to him once again. And on the side of defection, I want to welcome all the defectors into it's okay. They decamped willingly, not by pressurizing. They did that from their bottom of their hearts, and because of the performance, Bola Tinubu will win again in 2020. John Bernard Hoyi says, good evening, Lady Mo and other members in the house. I have been about on the issue of Labour Party Secretary. I don't blame him. I blame Obi, who knew INEC forming magic at 0 hours. That sounds like saying Dangote we give Nigeria petrol for free. Please, Mr. Chairman, we won't. Okay, watching from Enugu State. So thank you very much. Sending his greetings. Happy, wonderful, brand new week. Okay, thank you for your salutation. Really appreciate it. Temitayo says, good evening, top crew. Going to have someone like Jagaban, President Tinubu, when he was a governor of Lagos State. God save Nigeria. It's unfortunate that politicians and appointees find it difficult to resign when they are found wanting or disallowed to perform their functions properly. Professor Oloyede is a man of integrity and refused to resign.
It was more than glitch.
Atola says there is nothing wrong with the INEC chairman appointment except the political party. That example. Well done. Okay. Thank you very much. We are here again. Okay. Thank you. Sunday Noah, the citizens, they gyrate to where there is stomach infrastructure. Sadly, they have made ordinary people to be poor and beggars. From 2027, God bless my country, Nigeria. And Onotoye Temitope says, hello, Mainland FM. To me, it's becoming a waste of time discussing Nigerian politics and the politicians based on the matter at which most of us, him or her, into power and still remain in the position. If that's the case, I want to defend and let the president mandate these embassies to grant as many Nigerians willing to defect, and let's see who would be left in the country in office. To be candid, our politicians are colors. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And okay, this says okay, yes, we will do that. Barrister Nuruddin and
well, for that one, the fellowship, chairmanship, House of Assembly, because there are some certain people. The reason why it cannot work naturally is this: come for you to be a candidate. The number of polling units you are going to have some people to manage it. If you don't have a very good structure, but if it's work, at least if it's part of our law, people can be able to be using it, so that some political party will not be using it as a mace. And the way some certain political parties are trying to influence other political parties, so far
he can just go ahead to fly on his own, because
independent candidates who will work at national level and vote,
right?
Yes, with communities. So why won't it work?
Right.
In fact, the last election, where was the base structure? Because and it's not there are no political parties.
All right, let me just quickly take the house. Can the house please shed light on who actually won the 2023 election?
Tinubu. INEC declared him
INEC chairman. Why can't we work on the system of appointing an INEC chairman instead of Glasgow?
But for now, It's the president that will appoint, but that is what is inside the law. So that's it.
Anyway, high political roundtable. So you know what rigimo means. Okay, teacher, don't teach me. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me just take one more. Good evening, Milan crew. My sentiment: you are liable. You are liable to mankind. Well, that's all we can take because of our time. We need to go. Any parting shot before we go.
Well, just keep hope alive, Nigerians. That's
It's the only country I
before
have
you defect to.
No, for now, this is the country I have.
Right.
For me, now the security just
enough.
No.
We don't. Even with the recent data out now, over how many percent of people with mental.
So we're discussing what junction do you turn when your partner's fantasies plan to send you to an early grave? The fantasies that your partner is asking of you, even when you think of
Is that I don't know the fantasy.
but the beauty of it, our forefather they enjoy. Because like my grandfather, I have 3 wives. The man live fantasy.
More of that you get to listen to and enjoy on Marital Matter. Thank you very much, Barrister, for coming. Thank you very much, and of course Joseph Olorun.